Melvin Stark, CPA, is about to break free.
Yahoo!
In Ford Mustang, a sports car for the 80s. Mustang performs and handles like a sports car.
Yahoo!
Precise, sure-footed, yet Mustang delivers the mileage of an economy car. Mustang, a sports car for the 80s.
Gal, we're stepping out tonight.
Melvin, is that you?
Yep. Yes.
Next August, I'll be an air traffic controller. Guaranteed.
10 months from now, I'll be training in electronics. Guaranteed.
Even if you're still in school, you can join the Army now and take up to 12 months to report for duty, with your choice of training guaranteed in writing.
Next September, I'll be in Europe. Guaranteed.
This is the Army, and we're giving guarantees. Call this toll-free number now.
It's a CBS Sports Special. Next Saturday at 4:30 Eastern, see the 1979 Turf Classic live. You'll say, you saw it on CBS Sports.
Seattle over Houston, 14-7 in the second period. Two new running backs now for the Chiefs. Horace Belton, number 35, and Mike Williams, number 40. Kansas City's ball on their own 33, first down. Livingston. And carrying the ball is Belton, short yardage. Going into today's game, the Chiefs have made 3 of the longest plays of the season. The longest run from scrimmage, Ted McKnight, 84 yards against Seattle. The longest punt been Bob Grupp, 64 yards against Seattle. And the longest punt return by J.T. Smith, 88 yards against Oakland. And Smith, by the way, is the only man with 2 touchdown returns and punts in the entire NFL.
You know, making inquiries about McKnight, people have said he's kind of a straight line runner, but he certainly is more than that. And what I've seen of him this afternoon, he's excellent looking back.
Second down, 9. Livingston throws down the middle. It's caught at the 40. Belton for 50, 45. Belton's down at the 43-yard line. First down. Beasley reached the strong safety, had to make the stop on him.
Another high percentage pass to the back. Horace Belton. He lets the linebackers get good depth. There was a crossing pattern. Comes across the middle nicely. It's missed there by Terry Jackson with a high tackle, but it's finally knocked down, but he made a big gain on that play.
Livingston has hit 5 out of 11. First down, Kansas City on the Giant 43. Belton, 40, bangs his way to the 37 of Kansas City. The stop is made by Dan Lloyd, the inside linebacker. They dope Henry on Jeter is that Gary Jeter had to leave the game, was banged up, may come back. They don't know for sure. He was injured here in this period.
Well, they're going to miss Jeter because he's a fine defensive end. Condon that time on a trap block. The right guard, number 65, trapping left.
Boy, Belton is it. He was slowed down by Phil Tabor, the rookie tackle from Oklahoma. By the way, his twin brothers here, Arnold, who's a starting center at the University of Oklahoma. They're identical twins. And I know what you're going to say. If they're twins, how could one be in the pros and the other one in college? The younger one, or the same age, same time, was redshirted. I say younger, I keep thinking you're right. He's in college. Why isn't he in the pros?
Yeah.
But they're identical twins. He's here watching his brother play today. He was redshirted at Oklahoma an extra year.
See if they run right here. Something right. Passer run right.
3rd and 2. They're going right. McKnight is hit, and there's a fine play by George Martin. 75, the left end, to stop him. And the Giants suddenly stiffen up on defense.
The Giants really are a good team defensively. Their front 4 and linebacker core are impressive and really have done a good job most of the year. But they just haven't been able to generate anything consistently offensively.
You heard this before. Go, go. 4th down, yard to go. They didn't want to see a field goal. Out come the running backs again. Reed, Gant, and McKnight, and they're going for the first down.
They want you to go only if you make it. If you don't make it, you're a bum.
Delgado. And I don't know, he may have it. He may have it. I don't know. Well, he's very close.
He sure looks like he has it from here, but you never know where they're going to mark it.
They want to look at the sticks. Jeter is back in the game now for the Giants. Now, you heard that plenty of times. You ever let the crowd influence you on a decision?
No, you can't let them do that. You can't. You've got to do what you think is best for your club. You have to have a philosophy about it. You have to have a feel for what the game is like, but you can't let that influence your thinking, because you'll get yourself in a lot of trouble.
And I believe they're short. They missed by inches.
Now the fans are saying, I told you he shouldn't have gone for it.
All right, the Giants take over. Great defensive effort. They'll have the ball on their own 33 with a first down. Kansas City's ahead, 10-0.
You're the skeet shooting expert. What am I doing wrong?
Let's talk about it over a beer. Better yet, over a Michelob Light.
A light beer? Since when?
Since Michelob Light.
The rich, full-bodied taste of Michelob Light. Compare it to any beer you like.
This Michelob Light's one fine beer. Now, if I can only raise my scores.
Hey, you want really high scores?
Yeah.
Go back to golf.
Michelob Light. Compare the taste to any beer you like.
Yeah.
Okay, men. When we see the ambassador's Mercedes, we roll.
The surprisingly affordable Granada, sometimes mistaken for a Mercedes.
There he is. Roll.
Albert, are you speeding?
No, dear.
People in Washington sure are friendly.
I think they like our new Granada.
Are you sure this is the way to the Applebaum's new house?
I hope so.
Oh, look, Albert. They bought a Colonial.
The 1980 Ford Granada, a modern American classic.
Monday night on CBS. Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown, Fat Albert, the Cosby Kids Halloween Special, MASH, and WKRP in Cincinnati. And Ed Asner stars as Lou Grant. All on CBS Monday night. The club you're looking at in the huddle, there's Marv Levy, the coach of the Kansas City Chiefs. The Giants, as they break out, Levy, a coach with the Montreal Alouettes 5 years very successfully. That's what got him the head job here. Have a first down in their 33. Coder running the ball to his 36, a 3-yard gain. The Giants have not moved much in offense today, Hank. What can they do to open things up or get it going?
Well, I think, number one, they haven't had great field position. Number two, they haven't had the ball very much. And number three, it looks like they're so concerned about not making a vital mistake to cough up the ball and give it to Kansas City that they really haven't done much on first down other than run the ball. I think they have to throw play-action passes some on 1st and 10 to loosen up the defense. I think once they get some breathing room, they've got to run some kind of a reverse, some kind of a give it, some kind of a misdirection play, because that defense is pursuing terrifically well.
4 out of 7 for Sims in the game for just 19 yards. They've been very conservative on offense. This time he takes a deep drop. And he throws it out. Ernie Gray's there. Gray has it, first down. That's the rookie battery, the only rookie battery in the league right now. Rookie quarterback to a rookie receiver, the number 1 and 2 draft picks. They hit on 8 receptions last week.
Yes, that was a play-action pass, just what we got through talking about. They've got to do that to slow down the rush a little bit. He delivers the ball nicely on the outside, right on the numbers. He makes a very nice catch, Ernie Gray, and the Giants have better field position in the 1st and 10. They got to come right
end position. His name is Mike Bell, and he's out of Colorado State. I saw him play as a junior in college. I've never seen a lineman as quick as he is getting across the line of scrimmage. He has a bad knee, but he's recovering. When he's back in there, the Chiefs will have a couple of great young defensive ends in Still and Mike Bell. 2nd down, 10. Jim sets up. Throw hooked out, nearly intercepted by Tim Collier. Collier was waiting for that one.
Yeah, he almost picked that baby off. He looked like he got a good jump on the ball, and the receiver didn't drive him out of his glide area at all. Out of his back pedal, he was able to stay square with the receiver all the time, and then make the play on the ball and almost intercepted it.
3rd and 10 for the Giants. On the 45 of Kansas City. Kansas City ahead, 10-0. 3 minutes to go in the first half. Billy Taylor in motion. Everybody floods out. He runs out of the pocket. He's dumped. He's hit by Don Kramer, the second sack for Kramer, and the third sack of the game for Kansas City.
And they came into the game with 20 sacks. They've got 23. They sent a man in motion to the right this time. They only have one back blocking. They have a stunt up front. Good penetration there, as you can see, by Ken Kramer. And it's trouble for Phil Simms.
Here's Jennings, one of the best punters in football. J.T. Smith is the safety man. The kick is up in the air. It is going to hit and bounce in. It'll be Kansas City's ball. First down on their own 20-yard line. Time remaining in the first half. 2 minutes, 32 seconds. And the score, 10-0 in favor of the Kansas City Chiefs.
If anyone looks forward to the start of a new day, it's a Big A Auto Parts store, because each new day is filled with challenging customer requests for quality parts and friendly service. Take yesterday, for example.
Got an oil filter for a Ferrari?
Do you hook the black one to the plus or minus?
I need heavy-duty shocks. A muffler for a Merc. Boy, have you got metric tools.
Quality parts, friendly service. That's Big A.
Have you got a cup of coffee? Sure.
The hard-working auto parts store.
7 copiers not only make great copies, they also make great copy.
Financial World. Its Series 700 models are proven winners. Forbes. Savin 750 copier was an overnight success. Sales and marketing management. Savin in 1 year raced from a standing start to first place in installing machines.
In fact, last year Savin outplaced Xerox and IBM combined. We wouldn't be winning over big business unless we offered big advantages. Savin, the revolutionary copiers that are winning over big business.
Next Saturday on the CBS Sports Spectacular, see the light heavyweights. Plus, the battle of the super heavyweights, the world's strongest men competition. You'll say you saw it on CBS Sports.
Ray Perkins says his club is improving. They're behind right now, 10-0. We talk about sacks. Kansas City is 3 today, 23 for the year. Houston, the Oilers have the most sacks of any team in the NFL, 31 going into today's game. First down, Kansas City on their own 20. Reed has the ball. Reed spins out. Look at him, great tackle. First down and more. He has been hard to bring down today.
He's an action runner. By that I mean he uses a lot of arm action. Simple play to the left. Tom Condon pulling on the play, goes inside, but Reed goes outside, gets away from one tackler. A nice looking play, and I tell you something, the tight end Tony Samuels looks like he's doing a good job at that position and blocking down on the defensive end.
Reed is the leading ball carrier now, 42 yards. First down, the Chiefs on their 33.
See if they run left. Nope.
There's a loss that time. Look at that charge by Brad Van Pelt on Ted McKnight. No contest before he could get any momentum. Bang, he was hit by Van Pelt.
Looked like he knew the snap count, the way he got off the ball that time.
Second down, 11. Passing figures on Livingston. And we're coming up, a timeout has been called by the Giants to stop the clock. They have 2 left now.
I understand that Fuller called the plays when he was quarterbacking the Chiefs. I think Mike is calling his own plays because of the 12 years of experience that he's had with Kansas City, and he's doing a good job of mixing them up.
60 minutes tonight at 7 Eastern time, and California's about to crack down on a doctor that the state says is involved in what could be the biggest case of medical fraud ever. But the doctor is still practicing. How come? Watch 60 minutes tonight at 7 Eastern time. When we resume here with 2 minutes, 19 seconds to go in the first half, Kansas City has a second down 11. And here is the veteran Livingston coming back on the field. No touchdown passes this year for him. 40% completion. He was replaced by young Fuller, the rookie, fourth quarter. Earlier in the season of a game, Fuller rallied his team to spectacular score. He's pre-held the job, then he lost it last week.
See if they run left here.
They run a draw. There's that Reed again. And he bangs out for another first down that gives Kansas City ball control. I mean, he's hit 2 or 3 times every carry, and they can't get him down.
Well, the great thing about him is that was a draw. It was supposed to have been run to the left, but he saw the opening in the middle area, popped through there nicely, but he's got such great feet, happy feet, and it's very hard to tackle him.
There's the 2-minute warning, and we have the same score. And we'll be back.
My parents bought me a Pinto when I graduated from high school because they thought it would be a perfect car for college, and my sister agrees.
Right, I think it's perfect too, and my sister agrees.
And my sister agrees. Mine too.
Mine too!
Well, I guess you can call us N8 Pinto Sorority.
Join the Pinto family, the 1980 Pinto with 40 standard features. Compare Pinto. It may be the best small car value in America.
We've always wanted to be on TV. Thanks,
For those parents who realize that $500 isn't too much to spend to expand their child's world, Radio Shack has the perfect gift.
The TRS-80 computer, the most significant investment a parent can make. Programs for your child's education or your business, finance, and home use. Let your children discover tomorrow's technology today. The TRS-80, the biggest name in little computers. Only at Radio Shack, a Tandy company.
Kurt Gowdy and Hank Stram here at Arrowhead Stadium, Kansas City. 2 minutes to play in the first half. Kansas City's ball, their own 44. They have a first down. Lots of time, flares it to Reed, 45-50. Look at that backward move, and he goes for another first down. Hit by Dan Lloyd. They have a Hawaiian on the team, Morgado. Reed has more moves than a Hawaiian dancer.
Yeah, he moves better than Joe Kulakakui, doesn't he?
Yeah. Watch this backward move here in a minute. Wait a minute, Hank. Right there. Look at that.
Yeah, good outside, inside, and he was able to make a lot more yardage on the play for that reason.
Now the Chiefs have called time to stop the clock. Kansas City is the first down on the New York Giant, 45. Let's look at some scores. Atlanta goes ahead of winless San Francisco. Bartkowski, 7-yard pass to Jenkins. 9-7 the Falcons, who were hammered last week by the Raiders. That surprised you, the Jets beating the Raiders?
Yes, very much so. I was pretty surprised that happened.
There's Prince Valiant, number 11. What's he look like, about 16? Junior in high school.
Looks like 16 going on 12.
Speaking of high school, a lot of Hank Stram's former players came in to say hello to him. Bobby Bell. You might have seen the Notre Dame game yesterday. You saw probably the best guard in the country in Brad Buddy on USC and All-American. His father, Ed Buddy, played under Hank here. Dave Hill that played under Hank. His son is a freshman starter at Arkansas.
And Freddie Arbanis' son is the best-looking middle linebacker in all of high school football all over the country.
And there's Martin blocking that pass, 75. Arbanis' boy,
yes,
great high school linebacker.
Yeah, he's the #1 linebacking prospect in the country. Isn't that something?
Like father, like son. Chips off the old blocks. Second down 10. Kansas City on the New York 45. No threat for the Giants yet. Kansas City scored on an early field goal when the Chiefs intercepted a Sims pass to set it up, and then went 67 yards in 10 plays. Morgado bucked over for a yard. That's been the scoring. Second and 10. Livingston shoots it to Reed, 35-30. Reed hauled down on the 24-yard line. He's hit there by Otis McKinney, number 23. Reed is emerging as the star of the game.
You know, I looked at the films last night and just saw a little bit of Reed, and I couldn't understand why he hasn't gotten the ball more often, because he's such a very impressive-looking running back. Boy, he's a real piece of work. And he's wearing a great number, 32, the number that Curtis McClinton, one of our fine fullbacks, used to wear here at Kansas City.
How about a fellow named O.J. Simpson?
But he belongs on the West Coast, not in Kansas City.
Tony Reed, there are his figures. About 65 yards to that tremendous young wide receiver, John Jefferson. JJ, 14-7 now, the Chargers over the Rams.
Well, it could be the Atlanta Falcons, New Orleans Saints, and the Rams in a three-way tie for first place in that Western Division of the National Football Conference, all at 4-4.
Final, the Dallas Cowboys keep rolling. Winning number 7 against one loss. They beat the Cardinals 22-13. Livingston talking to Levy. Kansas City has the first down on the Giant 23. Time remaining after this Chief timeout, 1:36. The Chiefs have one timeout left. Their defense has been excellent today. They have completely bottled the Giants up, except for a few spurts.
Yes, it's everything that everybody has said about the Kansas City defense. They're really very impressive.
Now let's see if they go into the wing T. And that means 3 running backs, or one of them as a wing back. And it's just an old single wing formation, really.
I think they want to. They're going to keep their passing offense in the game, Kurt, trying to do business and get another score before the half.
Livingston fading. And there he goes. And that one is intercepted at the 5. Intercepted by Jackson. Jackson brings it out. That is the second turnover by Kansas City, and Terry Jackson picked that one off, and he was in position, and the Giants stave off Kansas City here in the late minutes of the first half.
That time, J.T. Smith, 86, had no chance. He ran an inside-outside move, and Jackson was outside all the way, and Mike threw the ball outside. That's exactly where Jackson was, and on that play, he was really the only guy that was open.
He stepped out of bounds after the interception. NFL doubleheader next week. First game, Dallas at Pittsburgh. New Orleans versus Washington, and Tampa Bay versus Minnesota. Billy Taylor. Taylor's out of bounds on the 16-yard line. And went out of bounds. He stopped the clock at 1:21. Gary Spaney drove him out.
Well, the Giants really came out of that and dodged a bullet. Almost stepped in a mine that time. It would have been really tough for them to come back in the second half had they given up another touchdown, but they're still in pretty good shape here at 10-0 at halftime. A lot of things can happen. We saw that happen a couple of weeks ago in Tampa with a 0-0 game at halftime between Tampa and New Orleans, and finally New Orleans wins the game 42-14 in the second half.
Yeah, 54 points in one half. Second down, 6 for the Giants from their own 16. Kim hands it off again to Billy Taylor, and Taylor's thumped by Tom Howard, the outside linebacker, and Art Still, the defensive end.
They still have to run more plays, I think, from the I formation. When they've run from the I, they've been able to hit the seams and hit the creases and do a good job of picking up yardage. It's been kind of a taffy pull when they have had to run across the ball from normal formations, Kurt.
Clock moving along. Hey, the Vikings just took the lead with 13 seconds to go. Tell you about it here in a minute. Trim escaping. Throws. Incomplete. Intended for Scales. Clock stops, 39 seconds. 13 seconds to go. Young Tommy Kramer passed 5 yards to Ricky Young. The Vikings lead 30-27 over Chicago. And Kramer had passed to another score to Ricky Young with 7:28 to go. There it is. It'll look like the Vikings are going to pull that one out. Here's a punt formation now. There's J.T. Smith as a safety man. Jennings. Watch and see if Kansas City goes after this one. They blocked a couple of punts this year. Watch the end. Green, he's the man that goes. Playing on one end. Low pass. Flags are down. They may have taken too much time. Couldn't have. They had an incomplete pass. Let's see what this is about. Maybe illegal.
Illegal formation.
Illegal formation. You see that player hop back? They must have at least 7 men on the line of scrimmage. Think that's what it was, Hank?
I think so, and you can have 10 on the line of scrimmage, but you must have 7. You can't have less than 7.
Formation. Offense, still 4th down.
Looked like a Canadian league.
You know, in a way, that penalty was a good break for the Giants because Jennings had a bad pass from center, and they were pouring in on him. And once that ball hits the surface, everything's off. They can run into the kicker. They can do anything to him.
You're right. Here they're coming again this time, and it's a good call to rush that kicker with only 37 seconds left in the half.
Yeah, he kicks this one away. Smith takes it on his 48 to the 50. Coming around this way. Breaking tackle. Down he goes. I don't know what it is, but these Chiefs are really breaking the tackles today.
Yeah, I think they must have some olive oil on their pants because they're slipping off those tackles and not really getting those arms around them and getting the shoulder pads in there, Kurt.
What was that big argument Pittsburgh and Oakland had one year in a championship game about grease? The Raiders had grease on their uniforms or oil or something?
Spaghetti sauce, I think it was, or something, yeah.
There's the final. The Vikings do win it. 2 fourth quarter late touchdown passes by Tommy Kramer, and Minnesota upends the Bears 30-27. All right, Kansas City has 24 seconds to try and score in the half. Out to Reed. They let him go to work. 25, 40. Still going. 35. Look at this fella go today. I mean,
well, he's a piece of work. He's a great-looking running back, and I've heard a lot about him, but I'm telling you, he's very impressive here. As I mentioned before, it's just hard to understand why he hasn't run the ball more in the 7 games that they've played.
Now they call a timeout. 13 seconds to go in the half. Kansas City ahead, 10-0. Watch, remember the old word swivel hip? Watch this.
Yeah, look at crazy legs. Watch him. He's out in the flat, breaks back into the inside. Watch him switch the ball in good shape. Makes another inside move. Look at his feet, though. He's got very, very quick feet. Makes another move inside. He's very, very hard to tackle.
Gives him that dead leg out there. Here it is, and there it ain't. 13 seconds to go. Kansas City's out of timeouts. He went to, I always loved the names of some of the small towns in America. And Tony Reed went to a junior college. I can just see it. Beautiful rolling grass plain called Antelope Valley Junior College, California.
Here it is again.
Reed again. Reed goes for the out of bounds and stops the clock. The 23-yard line. 7 seconds to go. They're giving Reed the ball. I won't say he's got a hot hand. He's got some hot feet right now, and they're letting him go to work every time and every opportunity they can.
Well, that's sound judgment on the part of the Chiefs, because he is really an outstanding looking back and doing a great job here this afternoon. Yansky here is going to try to kick the field goal here from the 22, makes it 33-yard line.
All right, Stenerud's in. His coach Levy said he believes he's a better kicker now than he was 3 or 4 years ago. He's in better shape. This will be a 40-yard attempt, or a 41-yard attempt against a tricky wind. The kick is down, the kick is up, and the kick is no good. It's to the right, and the Chiefs blow the scoring chance with 3 seconds to go in the half.
Oh, he got it up in the air good, got the flaps up in good shape. It looked like he was good, but evidently it blew over.
They have kept the Giants on the defense almost the second period.
You know, you really got to be careful when you have opportunities like this. You better get points, because you never know what's going to happen in the second half. Things change in a big hurry and very dramatically. And the Chiefs have had opportunities to get more points, and they haven't taken advantage of it.
Jan, a little mad at himself, but he shouldn't be. That was a difficult kick. First down, Giants on their 23. Great handoff. Coder is hit immediately by number 61, Parrish. There's the gun. The first half is over in Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City. Temperature today in 85. And let me give you the scoring. There wasn't much scoring, but early, Jackson, a linebacker, intercepted a pass, took it to the Kansas City 10-yard line. They were stopped on the 8. They took it to the Giant 10, stopped on the 8, and then Stenerud kicked a field goal. And then a 67-yard drive. Morgado bucked over from the 1, and that's been it at the half, 10-0 in favor of Kansas City.
I'm a mileage nut. I checked all the figures, and I got a Ford Fairmont. Yeah, 4-cylinder mileage is even higher than last year's. And do they have a 6-cylinder with standard 4-speed transmission? No 6, foreign or domestic, beats Fairmont's estimated MPG. Datsun's 4-speed doesn't beat it. Toyota doesn't beat it. Citation, the GMX cars don't beat it.
Harold!
Aren't you glad you bought a Fairmont?
You bet your gas can.
The right idea for today.
Natural light beer, please. Actually, I guess you're supposed to say, give me a natural or make it a natural. Okay, so I'm a maverick. But, you know, I just walked out of a bar because they didn't have natural light beer.
You must have been humidified.
So was I.
I empathize with you. You know, a cabin without the smooth, clean taste of this light beer is downright unnatural.
You know, that's so true. That's why I came in here for a natural. There you go. I just said natural. It goes to show you. I guess you hear something so often, you naturally just follow along like a flock of sheep. Monkey see, monkey do.
I'm Cheryl Teague. I feel at home in front of the camera. But behind the camera, I don't know the difference between a lens opening and a Broadway opening. So I rely on my Olympus OM10. My trusty OM10 gets great shots automatically. My OM10 has this smart little red light that tells me when it's okay to shoot. Oh, it's okay to shoot. Hold it, fellas. With Olympus OM10, great shots automatically.
You saw it on CBS Sports, Super Bowl 10. It's the Lynn Swann Show as he pulls down everything Terry Bradshaw throws in his direction to beat Dallas. Sunday, Dallas visits Pittsburgh in one of 3 regional games. New Orleans takes on Washington, and Chicago roars into San Francisco. The doubleheader games feature Green Bay and Miami, the New York Giants tackling Los Angeles, and Philadelphia clashing with Cincinnati. Check local listings for the games and times in your area. You'll say, you saw it on CBS Sports.
Back live in New York, I'm Brent Musburger. Bill Rogers has won the New York City Marathon for the 4th straight year, and the Dallas Cowboys are all alone atop the NFC East. And here's how they did it. Staubach, Dupree, touchdown, Cowboys over St. Louis. That made it 10-6 Dallas. From the shotgun, Staubach again. This time, he wants Butch Johnson over the middle. And Johnson breaks a Cardinal tackle and gets down to the 24-yard line. Staubach looking for Tony Hill this time. Touchdown, Dallas in the corner of the end zone. But the play of the game was this one. Roy Green of the Cardinals from 8 yards inside the end zone. Got a blocker. Septian came down too far for the safety man. Then beat number 84 and turned it loose. 108 yards for the touchdown, an NFL record, but still Dallas wins it 22-13. Elsewhere this afternoon, Tampa Bay is now 6-2, all alone atop the NFC Central Division. Philadelphia and Washington this afternoon. And it was all Washington, 17-7. Those two teams are 6-2 and trailing the Cowboys each by a game. Baltimore welcomes back Burt Jones by edging Buffalo. Jones on the day, 8-25 for 164 yards. He passed for 1 touchdown, ran for the 2nd. Cleveland behind Brian Sipes, 4 touchdowns, edges Cincinnati 28-27 on the day. Sipe 18-33, 197 yards and 4 touchdowns. New England responds with 28 unanswered points. Horace Ivory from a yard out, Cunningham from a yard out, Grogan 15 yards to Jarvis, Hawkins 35-yard interception. The Jets are now 4-4 as they beat Oakland 28-19. Listen to Stabler, 29-47, 362 yards, 2 touchdowns, but 5 interceptions by the Jet secondary. In the most thrilling game of the afternoon, Minnesota, with 10 seconds to go, scores a touchdown and pulls it out over the Chicago Bears, 30-27. Some horrendous coaching late in the game by the Bears. And New Orleans beats Detroit 17-7. Manning, 24 yards to Chandler. David Hill was badly injured in that game, but the report out of New Orleans is fortunately not serious for the Lions' talented tight end. In Dallas over St. Louis, 22-13. You have that one. And, of course, the game you are watching, Kansas City leading the Giants at the half. It's warm in Kansas City. Atlanta came back as Bartkowski went 7 yards to Jenkins. They now lead the winless 49ers 9-7 at the half. Seattle ahead of Houston by a touchdown. Zorn, 45 yards to Largent in that game. And San Diego now leads Los Angeles 14-7 on a 65-yarder. Fouts to Jefferson. Jane?
Something very unusual happened in the last 2 weeks. A couple of losers were honored. Jack Whitaker was here a little earlier, and he had some thoughts on this turn of events and the reason why.
In a week of turbulent sporting events that saw a boxing match in South Africa pour over the sport pages and the firing of a football coach in Arizona take on the appearance of a Watergate, one could almost reverse the cliche originally minted by Earl Warren, who said years ago, quote, "Things are so bad in the world, the first thing I do when I get the morning paper is to read the sport pages. Then I can face the front page." One could have found almost as much enjoyment on the front page this week following the plunge of our dollar as on the sport pages, with one major exception, the World Series. It was not just the joy of the Pirates and their winning celebration, it was the entire aspect of the climax to this baseball season. Not only did Pittsburgh give the Pirates a day in their city, so did Baltimore. The city and fans celebrated the Orioles because they were still proud of them. Something similar happened when the Orioles defeated the Angels in the playoffs. The California fans gave the Angels a standing ovation after they had lost. This has not always been prevalent in the professional sports world. The only other instance of mass loyalty despite defeat that comes readily to mind are the New York Giant fans, who have cheered and wept and kept on buying season tickets through 15 years of less than mediocre football. What all of this means is that owners and players and media people often forget that it is you, the fan, who pay your own money, expend your own emotions, despite being presented with cold hot dogs and warm beer and traffic jams. It is you who make this whole world keep spinning on.
Highlights coming up as the NFL Today continues on CBS after these messages from your local stations.
Meet Dr. Charlie Nichols, the world's greatest operator. But when he meets the girl of his dreams, she wants him to stop making house calls. The CBS Wednesday movie at 9, Eat Central and Mountain.
This is CBS.
For the victorious New York Jets, Richard Todd today was 10 of 18. The two most important went to the big man, Wesley Walker. Let me show you. Here's Todd now, going to Walker. Is there a more dangerous wide receiver in the game? I don't think so. That was 21 yards. Here's a fake. Short man, Van Egan for the Raiders. Found a huge hole and got the first down that kept the drive alive. And here's the snake. Stabler this time. Wants Raymond Chester, number 88. Put it up for the Raiders. 10-7, they move ahead. And back they came. Todd looking for Walker. Somewhere there's a Roy Jefferson fan saying I'm crazy, but you got to prove it. Now it is Todd, this time going to Mickey Schuler. And Walt Michaels did some coaching job all week long. He says, I'm going to run it down the Raiders' throats, and then he puts it up in the key moments. Sir, what do you got?
Well, the Washington Redskins really had it all going for them today, Brent. They beat the Philadelphia Eagles by a score of 17-7. Ron Jaworski had only been sacked one time in the last 3 weeks. Today, the Redskin defense knocked him down 6 times. But here's the only score in the first half. Benny Malone for the Redskins going in from the 13-yard line. Goes in, and it's 7-0 at halftime, Washington. John Riggins had a pretty good day lugging the ball for the Redskins. Here he goes off his left guard, powers upfield, breaks a few tackles, goes down to the 4-yard line, and a couple of plays later, Joe Theisen rolls to his right, can't find anybody open, goes in, and Washington has a 14-0 lead. The only score the Eagles got came late in the ball game. Ron Jaworski going to his tight end, Keith Krepley. He makes the catch here, goes 40 yards all the way, but too little, too late, and the Washington Redskins hang on to win 17-7. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Green Bay Packers went head-to-head in Tampa Bay today, and the Packers ran into an angry Tampa Bay club. Tampa Bay won that club game by a score of 21-3, and it was all this man here, number 42, Ricky Bell. Doug Williams pitches the ball off to him. He goes out to his right in there, goes down inside the 10-yard line, setting up a scoring opportunity later in the game. Doug Williams, Ricky Bell, touchdown. Tampa Bay 7-0 over Green Bay. Williams again pitching out to Ricky Bell, going over his right end, down to the 1-yard line. Doug Williams goes over on a quarterback sneak, 14-0, Tampa Bay over Green Bay. David Whitehurst tries to get the Packers back in the ball game, goes to his wide receiver, number 80, James Lofton. Makes a nice catch here, wheels upfield, and gets along the right sideline, touches the sideline marker. There's out of bounds, so the Packers, who thought they had a touchdown, didn't get it, come up empty-handed. Whitehurst trying to get his club going later in the game once again, goes up on top and has this pass picked off by Dave Lewis, who later, again, set up a scoring opportunity for his offense. Tampa Bay had everything going for them. Doug Williams, down inside the 5-yard line, rolling out to his right, hitting Jimmy Giles, touchdown, and Tampa Bay went on to win the ball game 21-3.
I indicted the Chicago Bear coaching staff. Let me show you and tell you exactly what I mean. I mean, they got one of the greatest in the game, and Walter Payton. You all know he can run, right? Well, here it is, Avellini to Walter. Up come the Minnesota Vikings to press the run, and Payton says, just what I wanted. Here it goes, bombs away. 54 yards to Baschnagel, score at Chicago. Avellini says, Payton, get out there and catch one for me. And indeed he does, and it was 14-3 Bears. Then young Kramer started to bring the Vikes back. Sammy White, the other man alongside Ahmad Rashad, getting 6 for the Vikes. Then it was Kramer to Voigt, and suddenly it was 17-14. And now we're going to show you the winning touchdown pass. This one went to Young, who caught 10 passes, 30-27. Now, how can I indict the Chicago coaching staff? Let me tell you. Between those last 2 touchdowns you saw, Chicago came out. They had a 2nd and 7 around the 15-yard line. They went for the quarterback sneak. When you got a Walter Payton in your backfield, give it to him. That's what you're paying him for. Let's send you back to the remote.
Right here. Halftime score, Kansas City 10, New York Giants nothing. The Giants have just come back on the field. We're waiting for the Chiefs, and when we do, we'll have the second half kickoff here from Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City.
Ladies and gentlemen, start your engines. Ladies and gentlemen, protect your engines. The same way 31 out of 35 of this year's Indy 500 drivers do in their everyday driving with Valvoline motor oil. Because stop-and-go driving can punish your engine as much as 500 miles of speedway driving can punish an IndyCar's engine. And Valvoline can take the heat, protects your engine, helps make it last. Ladies and gentlemen, protect your engines with Valvoline. It's not just for winning races.
From the people who brought you Die-Hard batteries, road handler tires, and Steady Rider shock absorbers comes the Sears Muzzler. The aluminized muffler that's only $17.99. It's so tough, Sears promises the muzzler will last as long as you own your American-made car, or return it for refund or replacement free. And if Sears installed it, they'll install the new one free. The Muzzler, only $17.99. Installation and additional parts extra at Sears.